And we are live and direct on Facebook for another weekly episode. What's up, Lindsey?
Woo! It's Friday.
It is the end of March break.
Yes.
Now, it means two different things to us because
hmm
uh, you're homeschooling and mine are not. And so let's talk a little bit about March break. What you been up to? How was life in March break?
So normally we don't take March break. March break is like when we hide because there's people at all the places that we usually go, and everything's really more busy and people-y than we care for. So we don't usually take March break. We did have a few like more activities and stuff this week. So we ended up on Wednesday. I said to the kids, I was like, so we didn't get any school done Monday or Tuesday, and I don't have time today. So let's just take March break. So we sort of threw in the towel on this week.
That's awesome, man. So my kids, as you know, are homeschool are in school, and they for some reason believe that when it's March break, that it's now our job to entertain them for a week. I'm like,
Mhm.
wait, is it not March break for us, where I don't have to get up at 7 a.m. and make breakfast and pack your bags and I can sleep in? Is no, it's for some reason it's
Yeah.
a week where we have to entertain them. Every day they wake up and they go, "What are we doing today?" I'm like, I don't know. Like, you make a list, right? Like,
They're on vacation from their job, and you are
exactly.
the cruise director. Entertain.
It's like every night. What are we doing tonight? It's March break. We go to the movies. We go to this rock climbing. I'm like, man, I'm more exhausted with you guys on a holiday than I am when you're back in school. But it's the duality that we live in.
Yeah.
And March is also one of those months where like you're coming out of February blues, you get a bit of a break, and then especially for homeschooling parents, you start to think about next year
Yep,
and start to
absolutely.
plan,
Most
right?
homeschoolers that I know and myself, April is that big planning, buying your curriculum for next year. All the conferences are usually in April and all that sort of fun stuff. The weather gets nicer, all the homeschoolers come out of hibernation and we start doing social activities and stuff again. So then you're talking with other parents and everybody's, what are you using next year? What are you going to try? What are you going to change? All that sort of buzz starts happening in the spring.
Yeah, and for those of you guys joining today or watching and rewind, we've been working really hard to fix our 2-year-old outdated website. When we first launched this
Mhm.
thing in 2020, it was like whatever it takes to just go to market and help. But since then, we've learned how customers buy products from us, and now we've got a large Canadian base, we've got a growing American base, we've got imperial curriculum, we've got you know uh,
Metric.
metric curriculum. We've got ranges. We've got grades. We have unitized them. Like, there's so much amazing stuff that's happening in this new website to help parents, have the choice of how to
Mhm.
best serve their student, right? Um,
Yeah.
what are you most excited about with the new website coming up?
Oh, mostly just like the organization and the filtering so parents can find what they need a little bit easier and find all the great extra marketplace stuff that we have as well because it's been a little bit buried. Like you said, it was sort of like as we created things, it got thrown on there and bit of a mess. But yeah, it's going to be great now, and I think there's a lot of things we have that people just don't find in exploring our
Yeah.
current site.
So maybe share a little bit so we can use this clip later when we're launching the site. But you can choose grades or range, and that was
Yeah.
really important for us. So let's talk a little bit about that choice.
Yeah, so we're trying to structure it so that you have the choice whether you want to follow sort of your government expectations for your province, or whether you don't care about government expectations and you just want to see every unit we have that's appropriate for your child's sort of age working level range. So, if you say, I'm in Alberta, I want to follow the government expectations, my child's in grade 2, we'll show you that like what units you need to meet those expectations. If you don't care about following the government expectations, you can say my kid's in grade 2 and I want to see everything you have that works for a second grader. And
Right.
then you can filter it that way. So all different ways of filtering it depending on what your needs are.
Yeah, and one of the things that parents love about that is the choice. And I spent a
Mhm.
week in Austin, Texas, at an education conference and hanging out with teachers, principals, parents, and it was nice to see that homeschooling had a much bigger presence because so many parents are now choosing it. Even teachers are looking at it as a really good option, right? Because we can all agree that the assumptions from the past that only a teacher standing in front of a class of students organized in neatly rows and columns can impart wisdom. That we've now seen that's not the only option. And so it was really nice to get out there and meet people that are looking at new models. And when I start telling people about Schoolio, the biggest differentiator for us is choice, and the fact that
Mhm.
not only can the parents choose between grades or ranges, but even the child has a choice now. They can say, hey, I'm really interested in these things, and they can go find those awesome content and include it as part of their learning curriculum.
Sure, and you can mix and match. Like if you want to meet your provincial expectations, we can say, these four sciences are what you need, and then you can take those and you can also say, oh, my kid's really into dinosaurs, my kid's really into pirates, and you can add on extra units so you get best of both worlds.
100%. And Britt Nav just got her kindergarten package. So Britt, welcome to the family. Welcome to
Yay!
Schoolio. We're excited that you're here. And if you haven't signed up to the family group, please do so. There's a ton of amazing parents in there that can help you out. And the whole point of that group is to make sure you never feel like you're alone. And I think that's something you and I chatted about when I first got into this. It always feels like you're by yourself. Like this is my big issue. This is my big challenge in my children, or this is my big, hurdle. And when you sort of come together with people that are experiencing similar things, there's something nice about knowing you're not alone.
For sure. And with like COVID and all the shutdowns, like all that community that when I was a new homeschooler, all my questions and everything, it was the other parents in our community, the other more seasoned homeschoolers. And then everybody who started homeschooling during COVID couldn't get out and meet those other people. And so we wanted to create a space for parents. We're all using the same products. And it's your book, you don't just buy the books and they arrive in a box and you're on your own. If you have
Exactly.
questions about how anything works or anything like that, you can ask them in the group.
Yeah, and listen, anybody that's been with us for even a short amount of time, even if it's a little mini unit, know that like the curriculum is really the start of our relationship. It's the way for us to get into a friendship. You buy a piece of content, we know where you are, we're able to now start a relationship. But really, what we're excited about is the journey parents and students in school are on together over the next few years as we help you with amazing content and supplemental tools, and we've got tools not just for the students now, but we're also thinking about like how do we support the parent, the caregiver, right? Because they're equally part of the formula. How do we make sure they don't burn out?
Yeah, and I mean everything we've built has been based on customer feedback. People wanted more special interest units. We started writing special interest units. People wanted an online option. We started the LMS. People wanted tutoring. We started tutoring. So we're just trying to, what do you need as a parent to be successful in this journey, or what does your child need? And
Yeah.
let us know. Let us know, and we will see what we can do about that.
So let's squash this myth once and for all, because we know parents reach out to us, and as new folks look at what they need for next year and more parents choosing homeschooling, let's demystify, because you and I have this chat at least once a week. Is there such thing as a Canadian curriculum, and is it accredited?
So, okay, any curriculum is a program of study. So any company or government or nonprofit, anybody can make a curriculum. It's a program of study. It's Canadian if it is Canadian content. So if you're a Canadian company producing a curriculum with Canadian content, that is Canadian curriculum. But where the confusion comes from is people will use the term Canadian curriculum, and what they mean or what they intend to mean is something the government has designed. And like people, when COVID first shut down, tons of people asked me, where can I get the Canadian curriculum? So there is nothing that's national. Everything is provincial. And B, the governments don't make any curriculum. They only make the expectations. So, we expect by the end of grade 1 that kids can count to 100. But there's no lessons, there's no work, there's nothing, prefabricated for teachers. Teachers
Right.
develop all that stuff themselves. So whatever ways they get that child to being able to count to 100 is their own way. That's why lessons vary from classroom to classroom and teacher to teacher.
Yeah.
So most of the time people mean expectations if they're talking about the government. There's no one set for all of Canada. It's all provincial. And same with the US. There's Common Core, which is federal for math and language, but each state has their own standards for education. So yeah, and when somebody says it's Canadian curriculum, it's curriculum that's Canadian.
Yeah, and what's important to add to it is there's no government body that we can send our content to that will certify it. Like it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And so, when we get parents saying, "Hey, is your curriculum certified?" I think what they're saying is, if my child goes back to school next year, will they recognize that we use Schoolio curriculum? They won't recognize Schoolio curriculum, nor will they recognize Canadian curriculum that you buy from Costco or Walmart. So it really, from a return to school, it's a much different process, regardless of what you use to educate your child.
Right. So accreditation, am I saying that right?
You got it right.
Is only for schools, not for product. So for a school to be accredited by the government, they have to show that they're offering certain courses, that they're assessing a certain way, and all that sort of thing. And then for kids to pass that school, they have to attend a certain amount of days, right? So
Yeah.
we could have every single government concept covered in our curriculum, but the government can't control what of it you teach to your child and what of it you leave out, or how you assess, or if you even assess at all. So yeah, programs are not accredited, only schools are.
100%. And today I think is like a good mythbuster days, because there's also, for all of you who's reached out to us to tell us about a bunch of different Facebook groups that are talking about Schoolio. Listen, I come from an old school mindset where any news is good news, all PR is good PR. But I want to set the record straight that we are not some multi-level marketing company that when you buy a Schoolio product, we do not force you into becoming an affiliate. You don't have to sell our stuff to use our stuff. And the folks that are spreading this rumor, I don't know why, but we'll tell you as founders of this company that if you choose to buy a curriculum from us, awesome. We love you and we want to continue to support. If you get one of our free products, awesome. I hope it helps. If you choose to never tell anybody about us and we're your best kept secret, that's cool too. But there's no requirement to join us as a sales staff. So wherever you hear that, please tell them to not spread the word. And if you can also make sure you can share with your friends, because it's really frustrating when folks that want to buy our product are being told that, by buying our product, you're going to somehow become our sales team.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that's not, and that's why these weekly sessions are around, because we want to just be transparent and be open and share with you guys. And listen, if that was our model, we'll have over 3,000 salespeople right now. And that's not our model. we have 3,000 amazing parents that use our product, and hopefully we'll continue to grow that as we offer more services. Let's close it up. We got a couple more minutes left. What's the team working on for curriculum release? There's some really new units that are coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, we got some good ones in editing right now. We have World War I and World War II for Canada. And then we have Colonial America, the American Revolution, and Westward Expansion coming out for the US.
Very
so
nice.
Those are all in the pipeline.
And did the Dino one get out yet? I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have a nice Dino unit that's up and running. So if any of your kids are into dinosaurs, check that out.
Yep.
And we're hoping that as as we get out there and start meeting more parents, that we can create that pipeline where parents can start to tell us what are some of the things that are important for their child. And one of them was entrepreneurship, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
So we're starting
Yeah,
to
we did our poll to see what marketplace our customers would like, and dinosaurs won, but entrepreneurship was a very close second. So that one's
super
on our list
excited.
to grade as well.
And
Yeah,
one
you
of
should
the
write it
other
for us.
ideas that Jan, our other founder, had is to create a podcast where we can interview young people on entrepreneurship ideas. So I'm trying to pair up my daughter Layla with him as a host. So there'll be a young person, and Jan's not that old. So, between the two of them, there'll be some young energy, and it'll be great if you've got kids that are, in their teenage years, finishing high school and have a side hustle or a passion for a hobby. Get in touch with us, because we want to meet those kids. We want to show the other kids that, hey, if you have goals and dreams to do something different, here's a blueprint you can start with.
Mm-hmm.
And between us, we've got kids that we can already interview, right?
Yeah, my son has a business already, so.
So I think this is the future. The next generation is not thinking about, like us, what career do I want to get into? They're looking at what passion can I follow that'll give me, the energy to get out of bed, but also make some money, right? Which is very different mindset. I wish I can freeze my brain now and like be young again, but I can't. I'm an old man getting older. But listen, Lindsey, have a great weekend. Guys, thanks for joining us. Anytime you want to get in touch with us, we're a transparent company. That's part of our core belief that for us to build the right trust, we need to be accessible and we need to be open. So anytime you have a question about who we are, what we're doing, what we're building, or if you want to join our movement at Schoolio, get in touch with us, message us. As they say, it takes a village to raise your child, or a community to raise. Mm-hmm. We're a community raising children. So join us and let's do something cool together. Lindsey, thank you for joining up and letting us hang out together.
Have a good weekend.
We will chat soon. And guys, we'll be back next Friday, same spot, 3 p.m. and we'll hang out one more time. Thank you again, everybody. Have a good one.